What's up? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to San Miguel TV. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. All right, we are live. Yeah, man. Shit. Tyler Robinson. We spoke about Tyler Robinson already. That is, Jesus Christ. That is the the trans roommate of Tyler Robinson is named Lance Twiggs. So we're gonna talk about maybe for the next 30 to 40 minutes, some more Charlie Kirk stuff, right? Who's Lance Twiggs? We know who Tyler Robinson is, but who is Lance Twiggs and why is he so important? Because Lance Twiggs might be the key to unveiling the motive of Tyler Robinson, because Tyler Robinson is not confessing to the murder right now. The assassination of Charlie Kirk happened on September 10th, last week Wednesday, at a Utah school campus, where right-wing conservative Charlie Kirk has made a living and a name for himself speaking at these campuses and speaking to young students, university students, about different topics, from what is a man, what is a woman, trans issues, gun issues, abortion issues, and all things from that nature. Hey, from Greece, Yasu Malaka. I know a little bit of Greek. I grew up in Astoria, Queens, yo. Bunch of Greek people. I love the culture. And yeah, welcome to San Miguel TV. We're here talking about Mr. Tyler Robinson. I feel like I should stand up. But yeah, Tyler Robinson is what it seems like, he's a left-leaning liberal that pretty much seemed to be influenced by the talking points on the left. He grew up Mormon, and his whole family is pretty much right-wing, MAGA conservatives. But this man seemed to have gone away from that education and that upbringing, that conservative upbringing, and he is now pretty much living, well, now he's under arrest, he's under custody, but he was roommates with a Lance Twiggs. So Lance Twiggs, yeah, thank you for the like. Lance Twiggs is the roommate / boyfriend, lover of this man by the name of Tyler Robinson. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta bring you closer to me. Anyways, yeah, let's leave my dude right there. So anyways, yeah, Tyler Robinson is from Utah, and it seems like he was saying common left-wing rhetoric, like calling people fascists constantly. And that also comes from a video game, what he wrote on the encrypted messages on the bullets. Taiwan, well, we're trying to help Taiwan too. We passed a bill I think it was last year, around, I forget when, to make sure that China doesn't take full control of Taiwan because of the chips that are being produced at the, more than any other country. Taiwan is responsible for those smart chips that we use for almost everything we do, from phones to medical equipment and certain things. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. He will be missed, a true brother in Christ. Thank you, Valentine. I definitely stand with Charlie Kirk, and I'm against any cold-blooded murder. Whether it's whether it's an assassination, whether it's a political thing, or police murders on civilians is also a disgusting thing that we definitely need to highlight more too. But in this case, this is a political thing. This dude Tyler Robinson was radicalized by the left. People have been speaking to neighbors that say that they've seen Tyler and Lance, who were roommates, kissing before. So these are boyfriend and girlfriend. There's many accounts. There's up to 5 or 6 separate accounts, I believe, where they're confirming that these people were lovers. And I think that's what's about to be revealed by Lance Twiggs, I guess the feminine side of this relationship between him and Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. Charlie Kirk definitely wasn't missed. I think he clearly didn't get missed. People are missing Charlie Kirk, and his name is going to live on, and you're going to constantly hear that name over and over. So you're going to get used. You got to get used to that, because Charlie Kirk was a hero. He was a patriot. He was a brave man that stood up for freedom of speech. To a certain point, of course, because there's people that celebrate murder, and that's where sometimes your freedom of speech might cost you your job, and that's what's happening. People that are celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk, and some of these people are the same people that were crying for the death and the murder of George Floyd, who was a certified piece of shit. George Floyd was a certified scumbag and a drug abuser, a fentanyl addict, and an amateur porn star who committed home invasions and pointed guns at pregnant black women and asked them to, give up the goods. But yeah, so Charlie Kirk is now, 5 days he's been deceased. His wife spoke out, his brave wife spoke out beautifully. People are just mad that Charlie Kirk is getting all the attention right now. He's going to be remembered just like Malcolm X. He's going to be remembered like Martin Luther King, as a person that was assassinated, because of what they taught, what they said. Malcolm X assassinated by, his own people, because he left the Nation of Islam and started teaching things that are, opposite of that. Let me tell you what this has to do with George Floyd, because I'm looking at the reactions, how people reacted to the two different men, and I'm just doing a comparison between the reactions of two murders, two people that were killed unjustly, and you can tell which one person, which was the actual literal scumbag, is getting all the praise in the world. He got 2 funerals, he got a golden casket, and Democrats did a moment of silence at the Capitol in D.C. and knelt down while they were wearing African print in the name of George Floyd. But when we come to a man that was actually not so disgusting and such a piece of shit like George Floyd, Charlie Kirk, who just said things that were controversial, people don't give a crap about him. People like the person that's probably asking, why are we bringing up George Floyd? Because it's an easy comparison to show the hypocrisy. That's why. You got it now? Thank you. Yes. Charlie Kirk, Martin Luther King. You can compare them. Perfect comparison. Perfect equivalence. Martin Luther King used to have orgies. Go look this up, because for some reason nobody cares about the things that Martin Luther King did, but they are highlighting the things that Charlie Kirk said. Martin Luther King used to constantly cheat on Coretta Scott King with prostitutes. And there are reports that will be coming out in 2027, January, that confirm that he was having all types of sexual affairs with prostitutes and participating in orgies. And there's also an account where he was laughing while one of the prostitutes was actually being sexually assaulted by one of his own friends. So why do we set such a low bar for people of color? But white people, you want to scrutinize every little thing that they said. And when it comes to people of color, black people in particular, it doesn't even matter what kind of person they were. It's just because they're dead, now they're an angel, baby angel Aladdin. Just a sweet angel that. So keep getting mad. I'm here to piss some of y'all off. Good, keep getting mad. No accountability, right, Colt? I mean, this is what's keeping. Nobody's making this up. Go look up what evidence there is about Martin Luther King and his affairs with prostitutes. So I don't know what the hell you talk about. People on this comment section are really mad. I can't see some of this shit. But yeah, go ahead. Nazi quotes? No, sorry. I've already gone over all the quotes that you guys misrepresent, from the black pilot quote to the Second Amendment quote and the gun death, to the DEI for black women that can't even give you a definition for what is a woman. I mean, they asked the Supreme Court Justice, forget her name. She couldn't even answer what a woman is. These are the people that are being pushed in by DEI practices, which is what they're trying to do is social engineering of our society to have equal outcome instead of equal opportunity, which is what we have and have had until these DEI practices were pushed with some of these, current laws. Yeah, the FBI had records on MLK. That doesn't change the fact that MLK was a polarizing figure that that did some nasty things. And I'm sure people in this very comment section, have done some nasty things that they probably don't want people to find out. But yeah, MLK was definitely greater than me, man. Ain't no doubt about it. He did great things, but why are you? But yeah, they will live to be slaves to the corporate social media masters. Look at bootlicking. They can't even focus. Yeah. There's a lot of controversial things that people on the left, they get mad and they gasp and they can't believe that someone on the right doesn't want to give special treatment to black people. But, we're talking about how this radical lefty Tyler Robinson went away from his conservative values. Utah is a place that's not known for shootings and murders and violence. Salt Lake City has the most in the state of Utah, but it's nothing compared to what's going on in Detroit, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Memphis, St. Louis, Chicago, Oakland, Baton Rouge, and cities like that are just being, in Washington, D.C., which has been recently given a pimp slap by Donald Trump. All the criminals went hiding. But But yeah, when you look at the guns, the comment that Charlie Kirk said about guns, he said that it's worth having Second Amendment rights, even though there are people that die by the gun. It's all worth it. And he would still say that till this day, even though he's murdered by a gunshot. Charlie Kirk would still stand on Second Amendment rights, even if you were somehow able to ask him right now, he would tell you he still stands for those Second Amendment rights, even though it takes certain lives, and most of y'all do. And for those that want to abolish Second Amendment rights, I mean, that's completely un-American, and that's against the Constitution and what the founding fathers stood for, to protect us from the government and from a possible government takeover where sometimes you get too much order, right? You need order to control the chaos, but too much order can lead to corruption in our government. Too much order. So, yeah, Charlie Kirk was a great loss, and you're going to keep hearing about Charlie Kirk, and you're going to keep getting mad because you're hearing about Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk was a better person than the majority of the people in this chat, and a better person than I was. And we can all learn from Charlie Kirk and his debate tactics and how he treated everybody with respect, even if they smacked hats off his head, even when they attacked him and surrounded his family at restaurants. He still maintained his decor and was a gentleman to the day that he passed. And he'll forever be loved for that. What's up, Savon? I see you, brother. Ignore these comments. I'm ignoring the majority of these comments because Charlie Kirk is on record condemning far-right nationalists that would stand for him. He said that he don't care. You can't stop people from supporting you, but people love Charlie Kirk, and sometimes he got love from people that he didn't really agree with, people on the far right, which say a lot of despicable things that people consider Nazis and all of that. But a Nazi is a person that kills their political opponent, that wants to murder their political opponents and silence them. That's a perfect Nazi right there, and that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. He was a victim of some type of fascist ideology that believes that he needs to be shut up, and his words are violence, is what people on the left teach, that words are violent and they're offended by simple words. And you can compare how people on the left react to a person that said some things, Charlie Kirk, to a person that did ugly, disgusting, despicable things like George Floyd. George Floyd is praised. They have a statue of him. And the George Floyd Plaza in Minneapolis is an actual disgusting mess, that whole area. But yeah, there's just people saying, oh, he said bad things. Well, can you give me an example? Well, he said that if he saw a black pilot, he wouldn't get on the plane. And you completely out of context, not realizing that he's talking about unqualified DEI applicants, which sometimes can be white women. Because white women have benefited a lot from civil rights and from, DEI. I don't agree with some things that he believed in. I watched his Jubilee debate against 20 liberals, and I didn't agree with half of the things that he said. But I don't think that makes him a horrible person, because he has those conservative Christian values that they don't believe in abortion. They believe abortion is murder. And, I don't know if I completely agree with everything he said about abortion, but I understand his position and I respect it, because, it's abortion is just off the hook nowadays in the United States. And in New York City, I believe last year or in 2023, more black babies were aborted than were born in New York City. You could go fact check me and go look that up, Yeah. that they never watch a complete video, Sean, for sure. That you go watch the context of what he said. You know, they were saying that he was calling people a racial slur, some Asian racial slur, and that's wrong. That was proven to be wrong. They said that he said that it's necessary for children to die because of gun rights. That's not how he worded it. That's not what he said. And I believe the majority of people on this chat actually do believe in gun rights. So you actually agree with Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk agrees with you, and Charlie Kirk lives in you, and he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered as long as YouTube can show all these videos. He'll continue to be remembered as a great voice for the youth in this country that made people think, because you're some of these people on the left are stuck in echo chambers, you know. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Thank you, Savon. You know, when you get stuck in an echo chamber like I used to be when I was a lefty progressive type, you know, I was that socialist Democrat. I was following the David Pacmans, the Kyle Kalinske, the AOCs, Bernie, you know, Cornel West. I used to watch them all the time, and I was stuck in an echo chamber, and I didn't never hear the other side. I never heard the right side, because I personally, I'm not a Christian conservative, but I do have conservative values that I hold dear, that I think are very important to hold on to keep the not the control, but to keep the, you know, this country pretty much balanced out. You can't have too much left. You can't have too much right. I consider myself more moderate. I am pro. When it comes to the left, I'm pro certain things. You know, but there's a lot of things that are said on the left that are completely wrong. They're the ones that'll say things like poverty causes crime, when they try to excuse all the murders and crime that are being done in certain cities where the majority of those people are Democrats. Because if you don't know, the majority of the cities that are crime-ridden, the most violent cities in this country are actually ran by Democrats. From Memphis to Baton Rouge to St. Louis to Oakland to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, keep your eye on Philly. Philly has been becoming one of the worst cities, and when it comes to homicides, violence, and things like that per capita. And yeah, I mean, I challenge you guys to, you know, to actually look up what I'm saying. If you believe in Second Amendment rights, then you believe that the gun deaths that come with those rights are actually, you know, it's part of it. And we have to, you know, find a way to minimize that without taking away our rights to own guns. So I know it's difficult and things in life are not easy. Policies aren't always going to solve all the issues. There's never going to be zero gun deaths in this country. So it's a price we pay in order to have our Second Amendment rights to protect our families, our homes, ourselves, and the people that we love. So, but yeah, this dude, you know, the person that's speaking out, this is why I'm bringing up trans, is because the person that's speaking out and giving the investigators that are investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a man by the name of Lance Twiggs, who actually is trans. And this trans person was the roommate of Tyler Robinson, and he sent incriminating text messages to his boyfriend, Lance Twiggs, about where he kept the gun that he used, how he wrapped it up in a towel and threw it in the woods behind the university, behind the campus, where he ran off because he was on a rooftop where he shot Charlie Kirk 200 yards away. I believe it was. And it's political violence, it's gun violence and political violence. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. So you can't. This is simple stuff. Like, come on. Charlie Kirk would still, even if you could ask Charlie Kirk till this day, are you still for gun rights? Look what happened. Are you still? He'll say yes. Yes, it's completely worth it. Yes. Charlie Kirk, you are Charlie Kirk. Remember the Malcolm X movie? At the end of it, I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. You are Charlie Kirk. You are Charlie Kirk. You are Charlie Kirk. We all are Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk will live on. Now, you may be a pro-LGBTQ, a free Palestine type, and you're completely opposed to Charlie Kirk, and that's probably why you hate him, and you're glorifying and celebrating his death, which is sick. But when a murderer, when the murderer was caught, people were pretty much saying, well, it was a white guy, or it was far right. What we do know is that the dude's family was conservative because they're Mormons. Obviously, they're from Utah. They're Mormons. But the roommate and Tyler had similar views against Trump. They didn't like MAGA. And it's a recipe for disaster when you're raised in a household that is conservative, and then you start to attend these universities that are completely against conservatives, and your friends are all left-wing, because that's the majority of what young people are. They're all lefties. Then you might be peer pressured into starting to believe something new, and that might confuse the hell out of you. And you're gonna actually have hatred for yourself and your own family. And this lunatic was unhinged. And it's clear just by looking at the actions that he took and all the conspiracy theories behind it. We'll see what comes of it and how true any of that is. But, people will believe what they want to believe. I'm forced to go by the evidence that's available. And right now, Lance Twiggs is corroborating with the FBI and with the investigators that are looking into the death, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And the roommate of Tyler Robinson is a key witness that had text messages that showed this guy planned this. So there's no denying the text messages that are time-stamped right after the shooting took place, where he's asking for for his boyfriend Lance Twiggs to help him hide the weapon, and while he was on the run. People on the left, they're so educated, yet they can't even, People on the left are so educated, yet they can't even tell you what's the difference between a man and a woman. You timed out, Robbie. You're doing too much there. Stop, putting these crazy long damn messages trying to dominate the damn message board there. People think that this is a distraction from the Epstein files. Like, what the hell? A man took it upon himself to murder somebody, and this is somehow connected to the Epstein files. The Epstein files are already being declassified. There's so much to it, but it has been declassified, and it's continued to be declassified. So, I don't understand. I think people don't understand the difference between the Epstein files and the claim that there was a black list that Epstein kept with all names and all this stuff, and there's never been any evidence of that, even though people thought and might have said. What we do know is that there are Epstein files that have been declassified. Trump is cooperating with the people that are asking questions about anything having to do with Epstein. So there's nothing to hide. This is all conspiracy theories that people love to throw out, but, that's what they're going to do. And typically they said that about people on the right, but, all I know is that the evidence shows that this was a lefty, trans-loving lunatic that left his conservative values at home and picked up new values when he joined his beloved university that even Charlie Kirk would say is a scam, and it's turning people into some damn lunatics that can't even tell you what's the difference between a man and a woman. Define a woman. You ask them, please define a woman, and they can't do it. Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, tried Dominican, actually. But yeah, man, these are Caitlyn Jenner lovers over here in the comment section, and murderer sympathizers. But the truth is that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a person that was being influenced by left-wing politics. They constantly label people as fascists. That's one of the clues right there that lets you know this was someone on the left. And yeah, the same people that honored and loved and cried for George Floyd, a scumbag amateur porn star who was a fentanyl addict that did home invasions, George Floyd, your buddy. I can't breathe. Come on, man. If you can talk, you can breathe. He was saying that before he even got put on the ground. He was saying, I can't breathe in the back of the car. The dude did so much fentanyl in his life. Like, come on. Are you mad? Are you mad? Why are you mad at that? You don't even know. You never even heard of George Floyd before he was murdered, and people are going crazy. Charlie Kirk, nobody burned a building. Nobody destroyed property like they did for 2 months for George Floyd's damn dirty ass. Not to say that he deserved to be murdered, but he doesn't deserve the honor that he got. He didn't deserve a statue and 2 funerals and a golden casket while Charlie Kirk is being mocked relentlessly and scrutinized for every little thing he said. But we forgot everything George Floyd did in his past. Don't be a hypocrite. Long live Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, you done, papi. It's over. Your boyfriend is exposing you, and the truth will continue to be exposed. Thank you.